Welcome everybody to Beato's Tiny House Village. And the rain is starting. What perfect timing! Ooh, I love bringing you videos where nature is active and the birds have been singing, and now the rain is starting. So, welcome. So, here's a little intro if you're new to my channel of my tiny house journey over the last 10 years. Now that's just a sample of the 10-year journey I've had living in tiny spaces. That's my house right there, which is 320 square feet that I'm just loving. And my grandchildren live in this house or visit this house every now and then. So I get to enjoy, oh my goodness, laughter and growth from 8 and 10-year-old. But I just had to show up after the debate last night. It was like a playoff game, I would say. And if you are familiar with my Friday health and well-being show and my Sunday soul purpose healing show, I always have my dad behind me in his football uniform. So I'm always thinking football analysis. Last night, oh my goodness, was like a playoff game for the Super Bowl election. So I had some thoughts that came in that I just have to share with you because, and I'm going to do a she reference rather than call names because we're into this she gender thing. So I'm going to just say she. You know who I'm talking about when it comes to the debate last night. And then offense and defense. There was a lot of football throwing last night that I would say, especially coming from she was on good offense. I have to give her credit. She threw some really strong passes to the he who was mostly on defense, I have to say. But I'm going to give you an analysis versus mainly based on consciousness and unconsciousness. Now, what do I mean by that? Consciousness being you are aware of consequences, whatever your choices are in words or action, okay? Unconscious behavior is like you just do whatever the hell you want and you don't think about the consequences. So that's what I teach every Friday morning, health and well-being with Viata. You got to think about the words, the actions, and the thoughts if you want to be healthy. So, two of the really aha moments that came to me today, last night, was her throwing a football to he about love letters to the leader of North Korea. I thought, ooh, that was kind of unconscious, but let me just hear her out. Let me hear her out. That okay, here's how it went. I'm paraphrasing now. And at the end of it, I'm like, ooh, that was really unconscious what you just said. But she threw that football and he caught it. And I don't know that he really defended strongly enough, but he caught it and I could see the expression. But when you say something like that, he has been writing love letters to the leader of a country that has nuclear weapons or that's developing nuclear weapons or that wants to hurt other people. What's wrong with that statement? When we are looking at the death and destruction and suffering of a whole nation of people, why would you think writing a love letter to the leader of a country is a bad thing? Okay. Because what she was inferring that he's writing love letters to North Korea leader, and we, the United States government, are in the business of killing and bombing. We don't want to write love letters. We don't want diplomacy, is what I heard in a spiritual sense. For her to throw that football, You're writing love letters to the North Korea leader. And that's not the game we're playing here in the United States government. We're all about bombing and killing and making more weapons. And that's why having Dick Cheney, oh my goodness, throw his support in the game a day before was just perfect timing. Dick Cheney, I spent the morning, this morning, explaining to people who Dick Cheney was. I was surprised and shocked that people don't know who this person, this player sitting on the bench right now, hopefully ready to die because we're ready to see him leave the planet. A war criminal, I mean, serious war criminal, is supporting her, okay? And she's glad to have that support. My eyes went, what? Okay, so all this unconsciousness, know that unconscious football that you are a bad person, you're writing love letters to the leader of a country that wants to kill everybody. Okay, so let's move along, because where are the conscious individuals? I wish we could write love letters to every leader on this planet and make it be effective. See, he is very, my opinion, of course, everything here today is my opinion, but I've been around long enough to know what's going on in the rabbit hole as well as out of the rabbit hole, because that's what I do. I do research and I go deep, deep, deep. And some people call it conspiracy theory, but we're seeing all these conspiracy theories come to fruition. So he is very good at diplomacy. I think we could give him that much. When he was in president's office, we didn't have a lot of wars going on. We certainly weren't in the position we're in now, where World War III is happening. Every country in the Middle East is trying to bomb and kill each and destroy each other. So in my opinion, he is a great negotiator and very good at diplomacy. So for her to throw a football at him, and it got caught, it got intercepted, I think. I would say it got intercepted because she was throwing that football at another player somewhere. Cheney, maybe, throwing the football at Cheney. Run with it, Cheney. Let's get it. It didn't make sense. It didn't make conscious sense to me to try and harm the player, him, with that statement. We want more love letters, sweetie pie. Those of us who've been around, I'm a baby boomer. We've seen enough Vietnam veterans suffering, committing suicide. We want the wars to end. So we're ready, baby boomers especially, are ready to put anybody in the president's office who will stop these damn wars. We have seen enough suffering from wars. It's non-ending. PTSD, leg amputations, arm amputation, brain damage. Love letters. Yes, let's get the love letters going. Whoever. She's not the one to do that, because if she's happy to see a war criminal like Dick Cheney throwing his hat in the circle for her, she's not going to have anything to do with love letters, believe me. Because even the mention of Ukraine in that debate, there was no talk about we should stop the war. It was like, do you think Ukraine, the question I think was, do you think Ukraine should win the war? What a stupid question. Stupid question. And he answered it very wisely and said, no, I'm going to talk to Russia and I'm going to talk to Ukraine, and we're just going to end this stuff right away. Consciousness. We don't want Ukraine to win the war, because you know what that means. Just like people want Israel to win the war, that means more people dying and suffering. It's basically unconsciousness working there. And so I could just see in her face, she wanted to throw out, I'm feeling that we should be unburdened by what has been. But her handler said, don't do that. Don't do that. In fact, we didn't see a lot of cackling from her, which was good, because that would have thrown us all off. But there was some serious ball playing last night. We even had some halftime entertainment, because we had one of those popular singers tweeting right after the debate saying, I'm going for her because she's going to help bring some some energy to the LGBTQ community, and that's what I'm all about. This was one of those popular singers. I'm not naming any names. You know who I'm talking about. She came out right away after debate. I'm voting for her because she makes more sense to me to help the LGBTQ, and he doesn't make sense to me at all. That's what I was involved in this morning on Facebook. Conversations about the debate last night. So I want to just bring this to your attention as I close. I don't want this to be a long video. And one of the statements on Facebook this morning was that about abortion. We got into that topic, very unconscious topic. But I'm going to do a show tomorrow or Friday on how to safely avoid abortions and even uh, create your own abortion without an abortion specialist. I'm going to do a show on Friday about natural abortions that don't require any surgery. It's going to be high level consciousness. But anyway, I digress. There was a comment that was made about Master. I mentioned that being on the Democratic plantation for Black people, mostly Black people, because the Democrats have really depended on Black folks, colored people, Negroes, to support them in every election. That's how many of them got elected, because Black folks, Negroes, went to the Democrats and voted because they thought they were the party of the people. We're going to help the people. So I mentioned that that's like a plantation now. And so it's time for you to get off the plantation. And this young lady, and I do say young lady because she wasn't my age. I'm a baby boomer, so you know. And this young lady said, "My only master is God." That was her statement. And I thought, woo, that's a great opportunity for me to share some wisdom. Okay, honey, God does not approve of war, and God does not approve of abortions. I didn't use God, I used the Most High. How many out you think you're doing the right thing if you vote for her, but yet you don't want to see abortions increase or wars increase? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You don't want to see abortions increase and you don't want to see more war, but you want to vote for her. That, my dear, is hypocrites. That's hypocritical. I'm speaking to a lot of people right now, and I'm sorry, but you just need to hear this. If you think your only master is the Most High, creator of the universe, who says in the Bible, choose life so that you and your seed may live, you're a hypocrite. So just come out of the hypocrisy and just say you're all for war and you're all for abortions, because that's what she is promoting. I'm not even going to go into the proof of that or the research, all that. Do your own research. I've been for the last 23 years. That's how long ago we had 9/11. Today is 9/11. 23 years ago, we were all in shock when we witnessed airplanes not running flying into a building, and all those people jumping out of windows before the towers fell. So I want to say for the last 23 years, I've been doing a lot of research because that was just too crazy to accept as something of people with box cutters on a plane forcing a pilot to fly into a building. Not. So we've learned a lot in the last 23 years. Dick Cheney played a major role in that whole drama playing out, going to Afghanistan, Iraq, all those wars that we have been participating in because of the freedom from people who would fly airplanes into a building. Deception. Comedy. That's all it is. Comedy, deception, propaganda, you name it. The big war machine has been working overtime to keep us in one conflict after another. So After the big debate, it's up to you to think about if you're going to vote. I, for one, am an independent. So I just kind of watch the show. If you've been watching my show, I am my own president. I'm voting for me. I have voted for me. And what is my job as president? Raising the consciousness. And right now we got a great campaign going with RFK Jr. He even brought in a model to do a quick commercial about making America healthy again. That's my job as president. I do blog talk radio every week. Viata's Tiny House Village promotes health every day, living simply, and every week, health and well-being with Viata. Friday mornings, 8 o'clock. I talk about how to take charge of your health. So that's my job as president of this temple, of this land, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm kind of in unity, yes, unity with RFK Jr., who has been promoting health for a long time, many years, that with the Children's Health Defense, that's what he has been doing for a long time. So I'm joining the Make America Healthy campaign. I'm the president of me, Beata, goddess, queen, whatever you want to call me. I call me conscious female energy. You're welcome. And so that's what I'm doing here today, is raising your consciousness. Don't be a hypocrite and think you're not for abortion and war when you vote for her. That's what you're doing. And I don't know if you want to vote for him or not. I'm not. I don't think I'll be voting for anybody, because they still are not coming clean on all the children being killed in Gaza. That's just something that all these politicians, I will say that he last night was promoting Israel, not the war, but Israel. I'm starting to notice the difference. But he's not saying anything against the genocide. So that's what bothers me. And I think many of my friends who are not voting at all, is that these politicians, very few except Jill Stein. I worked for Jill Stein on her campaign the last time she voted for or ran for president. And it was fun. It was educational. I learned a lot, met a lot of good people, but she can't win the election. But voting for her is a statement for Palestine, a statement against genocide. I think we've got different people running for president who you can make a statement for or against whatever they stand for. Jill Stein is the only candidate standing for Palestine against genocide. Everybody else running is for Israel. That's what we call Israel. He, in the debate, is not for war. He is for diplomacy. And so that's what I do like about him in the debate, is that he promotes diplomacy. As he said in that debate, I'm going to talk to Putin, I'm going to talk to Zelensky, and this war will be over. And I believe that could happen, because that's just the kind of bully and narcissist he is. We need a bully right now, and a narcissist who thinks more about their reputation in the world to end these wars. That's my thing. I'm a president of me. I stopped all the wars inside of me, eating crappy food, having crappy thoughts, and getting rid of the low frequency emotions. That's the war inside of us that we need to end. So this football game is now going to maybe the Super Bowl. We got 2 team players who are going to the Super Bowl. Maybe there's rumors that we might not even see a Super Bowl this year in the political scene. So just vote your conscience and vote for you. Make yourself healthy again is my promotion as president of the village, Beata's Tiny House Village. I am president. So thank you all. Please share this video if you have people who are hypocrites, thinking they're going to vote for her, and yet they're against abortion, they're against war, but they're going to vote for her, because that's what you're going to get when Dick Cheney, the war criminal of the century, I'm talking about the most evil, quote, Darth Vader of the century, is promoting her and supporting her, you people wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. That was a big call, especially a day before 9/11, where he was the mastermind criminal behind 9/11 and caused all kinds of conflicts that we're seeing today in the Middle East. Do your homework. Thank you so much for joining me for this few minutes that I've been here. Please go out and make yourself healthy again by, most importantly, walking in nature. It's raining. I think I might just walk out in nature and get some good negative ions. They already, breeze is blowing. This is how we make ourselves healthy again. And just be sincere to yourself. Don't be a hypocrite. Be sincere to who you really are. Vote for you as president and start making America healthy again. That's where it starts. You first, make yourself healthy again, and then it will spread all over the world. All right, everybody, shalom. Mwah. Love you. Have a great day.